everybody. Welcome to the Mafia Me and Family Podcast.
I'm your host, Mafia Mom.
And I am Mini Mafia. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more blasting content.
So we've been off for a few weeks, right? We apologize to everybody. Life gets kind of crazy this time of year. I'm sure you guys can all understand that. We've missed a lot, though. A lot has happened, right?
Yes.
So we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the last few games. The Eagles game was kind of soul crushing. I'm not even going to touch it. It was painful. Still bothers me. I think we should just move past it and move forward. And you know what? To be honest, it doesn't really matter because that's done. It doesn't matter the calls. It doesn't matter the play. It doesn't matter. It's over. We're 6-6, and we're ready to make a playoff push. And it needs to start this week versus the Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Yes.
Before we get into the whole football thing, how's life been going, Mini Mafia?
It's been going good.
Yeah. You getting excited for Christmas?
Yes, it is my favorite holiday of the year, not just because of the presents and the trees and the lights, but because we have a ton of traditions that I love to do every single Christmas. And the only thing that gets me up in the morning is the excitement on Christmas Day.
Okay. What would you say is your favorite family tradition that we have Christmas-wise? What would you say?
So
I'll share mine too. So
my favorite tradition is we do this every year. Me and my sister wake up at 7:30 and we text them or call them to wake up, and my mom prepares hot chocolate.
cafe mochas,
cafe
right?
mochas, hot chocolate, coffee. She prepares it every single Christmas morning, and me and my sister go nuts for it every year, every single year. And um, at the end of the present opening, we all have apple pie together. We've done that the last couple of years, and I love it.
Those are good choices. I would have to say that my favorite Christmas tradition is our book advent calendar, which is we wrap up 24 Christmas books at the start of December and we put them onto the tree. And then each night, one of the kids picks a book and we open it and we read it together as a family. That's probably my favorite. I love reading to kids. And even though they're getting older, this is still like the only time that they let me sit down and read to them. And then, of course, we have to finish with what book? What book is our Christmas Eve book every year?
I forgot the title.
The Night Before Christmas.
Yes.
That is my favorite Christmas book, and we read that every year on Christmas Eve. So I would say that's probably my favorite. But we have a lot of fun ones. We are definitely a family that really appreciates our traditions. If you're watching and you have a family tradition that you want to share, like please share it down below. I'd love to hear about it. I love to hear what individual families do and what's important to them. I think it's just a cool aspect of the Christmas holiday, because you grow up with these really deep-seated traditions and these things that are really important, and other families have never heard of them. So please, by all means, share your favorite one down below. All right, so let's move on to football now. That's what we're all here to talk about, right?
I have one more thing to add about the traditions. Mafia Mom is, I forgot the word. She's so kind of like protective of the book. Every year she wraps it in a bow and she doesn't even put it out into the tree. And thing is, only really she reads it.
Yep, that's
it's her favorite book.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the only one she reads.
Yeah, we all kind of share reading the other ones, right? But the Night Before Christmas, I read by myself. We have 2 cats, so we have to keep the book hidden until Christmas Eve, or else they'll mess with the bows, and that one gets special wrapping. So
and
that's so we can tell apart.
We actually got them stockings, and the new addition to the family, Tasker, the Mafia mutt. We also got him a stocking this year. I'm letting him use one of mine.
It's a Bills one, right?
Yes.
Go Bills. All right.
Go Bills.
All right. So now to get into this upcoming game, again, don't want to spend too much time on the old stuff. It was heartbreaking. It was tough. It doesn't matter though. Now it's 6. We're 6-6. We still are alive for the playoffs. We're still alive for the division. Miami still has to play, I believe, Dallas and Baltimore, and they haven't beat a winning team in over a year. And us again. So it is still very possible for us to win the division, but it needs to start this Sunday. No more excuses. I don't care what the refs do, because good teams, really elite teams, are good enough to overcome referees. So you got to figure out a way to win in the end. And we had our chances. If you take out all the bad calls in that Eagles game, which there were a lot, we still had our chances to win in the end, and you've got to capitalize. I will say that every game I feel like I grow increasingly frustrated with Gabe Davis. He's so good and his ceiling is so high, but it's
But his
the
floor
ridiculous thing.
is so low.
It's the every time Allen is not on the right page with a receiver, it seems to be with Gabe Davis. Everybody else is on the same page. Gabe Davis and him different pages. That overtime pass was a great example. Allen's thrown more interceptions. A crazy disproportionate number of his interceptions have been when he's targeting Gabe Davis as opposed to any other wide receiver. So what's more likely, that the quarterback suddenly does something different when he's throwing to one guy, or he takes more risks when he's throwing to his wide receiver too, or that wide receiver is doing something different and something he shouldn't be doing, like cutting off a route short or not coming back to the ball or whatever, that's causing some of those interceptions. Not all of them. Sometimes Allen just makes a bad throw, but a lot of them are not on him. And it's just frustrating with Gabe Davis. So let's hope we get ceiling Gabe Davis for the rest of the year, because we need him.
I think he's gonna. I think his season has ended with Buffalo.
I think it's very hard to make a case for re-signing him. This is a contract year for him, and another team is going to offer him a decent contract because of that ceiling. The problem is he has never shown to be consistent enough to deserve a big contract, in my opinion. So I would not be surprised to see him gone. To be honest with you, I know that Pagula's come out and said that he's safe, but I wouldn't be surprised to see McDermott gone either. But we'll get into that later, and that's something that we can discuss in the offseason. We don't want to waste time now talking about that. So let's get in. We'll start with some factor flag, okay? That's where we'll go first.
My all-time favorite segment.
Your favorite
segment.
All right.
Right here.
So for those of you who've never joined us before, factor flag is essentially a trivia game. Okay, go ahead.
So factor flag is a trivia game. Anybody in the comments can play along. If you want to cheat, you can, but that isn't really. It's not really the point. So factor flag is where Mafia Mom asked me a couple questions about football, about the upcoming week, and I try and answer them. I will say fact if I think it's true, and I will wave my flag if I think it is false.
Okay, so here we go. So the first one, the Chiefs' defense is ranked top 10 in more relevant categories, major categories, than the Chiefs' offense. Factor flag, Mini Mafia.
Well, I have had a couple bad games, especially the one without Kelsey. Probably dropped a little bit, but Mahomes overall has played decent. But he has thrown more interceptions this year. Honestly, I don't know.
What do you think? Fact or flag?
It's a 50-50 shot. I'm saying it's fact.
And you would be correct. It is a fact. So actually, the Chiefs' defense is a big reason why their record is what it is. For example, in points per game, their offense is ranked 11th. Their defense is ranked number 3. Now, they did just give up a season-high 27 points in the last game to the Green Bay Packers. But their defense has definitely played well. In yards per game, the offense is ranked 8th. The defense is ranked 4th. In points per play, the offense is ranked 14th. The defense is ranked 3rd. In yards per play, the offense is ranked 8th. The defense is ranked 8th. Third down conversions and red zone TDs, that would be the only places where the Chiefs offense is outperforming the Chiefs defense. But it was interesting to me because in the past, Mahomes has not had a great offense or a great defense behind him. And yet they were still winning games. And this year they've really found a different way to win. And it's been through that defense who's played really well. All right. On to question number 2. Ready?
How many questions are there?
4 or 5, depending on how you look at the last one. Josh Allen has better stats than Mahomes in every major category other than interceptions. Josh has thrown more interceptions, and yards. Mahomes has thrown for more yards. But every other category, completion percentage, all of that, and touchdowns, all of that stuff, Josh Allen beats him out.
Well, Mahomes gets those cheap passes that go for really long touchdowns.
The yards after catch, yeah.
Allen doesn't get that, but he makes up for it with the rushing touchdowns and stuff.
Well, this is just passing yards, just passing stuff.
But he sometimes gets that. I'm not sure.
What do you think? Fact or flag?
I gotta admit, Mafia Mom, these are tough questions. These are really tough questions. This hasn't been his best season, so I'm going to say it's a flag.
I'm going to say it's a flag. It is actually a flag, but not for the reasons that you think. He actually is beating Mahomes in every category other than interceptions. So he also has more yards than Mahomes. So Allen's stats are elite this year, other than the interceptions, which I know that's a huge thing. But that's all that the national media seems to focus on, and it's really unfair. He leads the NFL in total touchdowns with 33.
I said a flat. That's
right.
a fact then.
No, it's a flag because the yards, he doesn't lead him in yards. Allen leads him in yards. So Allen's actually had an MVP-like season. Unfortunately, with the Bills being 6-6, he's not getting that kind of credit. Yes.
I thought you meant that like the tricky part was if he was above Mahomes in all those other categories.
No, see, the tricky part was the categories I left out. I tricked you. But you still got it right. So, all right. So, KC has not lost back-to-back games since 2019. Okay. Factor flag.
Well, that's definitely not true because they lost back-to-back games this season.
No, they haven't.
They haven't?
No, I will tell you that. They have not.
Well, last year, who was the team they played after us?
After us last year? I don't know. So what do you think?
We beat them.
We did.
In the regular season.
We beat them the last 2 years in the regular season. I will tell you, the last time they lost back-to-back games has nothing to do with the Bills.
I would say that's a no. I would say that's a flag. I think they lost back-to-back games in later years.
You're 100% right. They lost back-to-back games in 2021. It was weeks 2 and 3, I believe. They lost to Baltimore. They lost a heartbreaker, and they lost to the Chargers, a heartbreaker. Both very close games. So it has still been over 2 seasons, though, since they lost back-to-back games. Okay. On to the last one.
Wait, and we are going to make that this year.
Well, let's hope so.
They lost to the Packers, now they're going to lose to us.
Right.
Go
last one. I love the confidence. Last one here. So Kelsey, who right now, this is a fact. I'll give you that one. Right now, Kelsey is averaging his lowest yards per reception of his career. He's only averaging 11 yards per catch. That's the worst of his career. Now this is the factor flag part. He has not gone over 100 yards in any of the last 5 games.
Well, he's probably gaining around like 80 yards a game.
So what do you think?
So he hasn't gone over?
Hasn't gone over 100 yards in any of the last 5 games.
So what was the team they played before the Packers?
I believe the Eagles.
And then they lost.
They lost to the Eagles.
Wait, so they did lose back-to-back games.
Oh, no, they must have played another team in between there then. The bye week threw me off. Let's see. Chiefs schedule. So let's see. They played the Raiders in between. So they played the Packers, the Raiders, the Eagles, the Dolphins, and the Broncos. That's their last 5. So what do you think?
Who won the Broncos-Chiefs game?
Oh my
I think it was the Chiefs.
No, the Broncos won that game.
Oh, okay.
They won 24-9.
So they did lose back-to-back games this season.
They lost to the Broncos. They beat the Dolphins. They lost to the Eagles. They beat the Raiders. They lost to the Packers. That was the order.
So I'm going to say that's a flag.
That's a flag. Okay. That is actually a fact. Kelsey has not been over 100 yards in any of the last 5 games. So that's a big deal because that offense does not have a whole lot of big name weapons, obviously without Tyreek Hill. So if you can keep Kelsey in check, that'll make a big difference.
Also, since he hasn't had very big games.
Yes.
And Tyler Bernard seems like the Matt Milano type. I
don't think he's going to be on him a lot. I think we're going to see a lot of Saran Neal. I think we'll see different options. But that actually leads, good job with Factor Flag. That actually leads right into the things to watch. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to give my defensive one first.
I was 3 for 4.
You would? You did good. So my defensive key to this game and things to watch is to continue to keep Kelsey in check. I think you got to get creative with how you do it. I think bringing Poyer down and helping him double. I think using Saran Neal, maybe Rasul Douglas. He's a more physical back. Possibly. I don't know if Taylor Rapp is back. I haven't been paying a whole lot of attention with everything going on. But keeping Kelsey in check is key. Now, Rice is a good receiver, but I don't think he can
Wait,
beat us
Rice?
alone. Yeah, Rashad Rice.
Okay,
He's
I
been their
Jerry
number one guy.
Rice.
No. So that would be my defensive key to the game, is to continue to keep Kelsey in check. What do you think? What's your defensive key to the game?
My defensive key to the game, it's not exactly a key, it's really a player.
Okay.
I think Douglas is going to pop off.
Okay. For the record,
And
too.
that leads into my hot take.
Okay, well, we'll get to the hot takes in a minute, but for the record, Douglas has been playing really, really well since he got acclimated into our defense, and it's been good to see. We'll talk about your hot take from a few weeks ago in a minute. Offensively, things to watch. My personal opinion is, and this is kind of a teaser for PJ and Mini Mafia and his sister wrote a song. And what's the song called?
Let Josh be Josh.
Let Josh be Josh. We're going to post that in a short on this channel, so look for that later. But my offensive key to the game is to let Josh be Josh and to get Diggs going. It's been too many games where Diggs hasn't put up big numbers, and we need to get him going often and early, I think, in this game. In these big games, you need your big players to show up, and I think Allen and Diggs are who that is on the offense. So that would be my offensive key to the game. What's your offensive key to the game?
Actually, mine's kind of like yours. Mine is Diggs. I think he's gonna pop off. He's been quiet.
He's overdue.
I think he's. I am actually gonna have 2 hot takes this week.
Okay. We'll get to those in a minute. Okay. I don't know. I'd have to look. I got to be honest, I have not been following the Chiefs as closely this year, and they got a bunch of young guys on that back end. So I'd have to look.
I think I'm going to share the hot take because
well, why don't you wait until we get there?
I really think he's going to pop off this game. Like, I think he's going to have like over 100 yards.
All right. Awesome. I love it. I would love to see that, right?
120 yards and like 3 touchdowns.
We'll move into Josh Allen stat line, and then you can give your we'll do the hot take review, and then you can give your hot take. Okay. So Josh Allen stat line. All right, go ahead. Go first.
So I have him passing for 320 yards, 21 for 25.
It's 80% completion.
It's good.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns, 70 rushing yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. Wow. I think he's gonna have 3 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing.
That's an impressive stat line, man. So is the 320 yards, does that include the 70 rushing yards, or is that 320 passing? So he's going to have almost 400 total yards.
Yes.
Wow, interesting. Now I will say, just to in the interest of transparency, we did these completely separate
days.
Yeah. So
separate days.
I also have Josh going for about 320 yards. I also have him with 4 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Mind you, I didn't write the turnovers, but I don't think he's gonna have any interceptions.
Now, I did not write his rushing stats. If I had to guess, I would say I think he would have between 40 and 50 yards. I do think one of his 4 TDs could be on the ground. But we were very, very close there in those stat lines for sure.
I'm going to share my newest hot take, and then you go with that.
Okay, well, hang on one second, because I just want to do a hot take review real quick. The last time we were on, you made a hot take 1 week early about Rasul Douglas.
Yes,
remember what it was?
I said that he was going to get a pick and a forced fumble.
And not that game. That was the Broncos game, I believe. Or was it the Broncos game? Or the Eagles? Whatever game, it was the week before the game he had it. And then the following game, Rasul Douglas had the fumble recovery. And did he force a fumble too? He had a killer game and 2 interceptions.
I said that he was going to get a pick and a forced fumble. He had a pick, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery.
Yeah, so congratulations to you.
He fumbled, I think it was Poyer's forced fumble he recovered.
Yeah, it was really interesting. And that was the one that he handed off to Micah Hyde, and then it was called back, and it barely grazed the side of the guy as he was stumbling out of the pile. But it was an incredible play, and he played really, really well. We're going to need him to play well this week. So let's hope Douglas keeps it up. Okay, what is your hot take for this week? Go ahead, you can give yours.
So my first hot take is I think Diggs will absolutely expose the corners that are on him.
Okay, you want to give me a stat line? You said over 100 yards. What are you thinking?
I'm saying
how many catches?
I'm gonna say 6 catches.
Only 6, okay.
For 112 yards.
Wow.
And 2 touchdowns.
Wow. All right. So 6 catches and 2 of them are going to be for touchdowns. That's a big day for sure.
For any receiver.
Yes, for sure. Do you want to give your other one, or you want me to go?
I want you to go then.
Okay. My hot take, and I know I just said about Allen, let Josh be Josh, and Diggs going off, but I honestly think the run game is going to play a big part in this, and I think James Cook is going to play a big part. He's really been flashing lately and showing that he could be elite in this league. The Chiefs have given up in terms of yards per rush, they've given up a lot of yards. Teams just haven't run on them as much as they have other teams. I believe James Cook will play a big part in both the pass and run game this week, and I think he'll have over 150 all-purpose yards. So that would be my hot take. 150 all-purpose yards. Yep.
So more than Diggs.
Yeah, but he's going to run the ball too. Yeah. So I would like to finally see what's his name? Oh my goodness, playoff Lenny. Leonard Fournette. Would like to see him in a Bills jersey. Like, brought him in weeks ago and he's been sitting there on the practice squad. Like, get him in there. We need something going here. Like, I don't know. Don't get me started on this coaching staff right now. I won't go there. What is your second hot take?
My second hot take, this actually, what is it? It relates to my players to watch. I said that Douglas was my player to watch. I think Mahomes is going to have two interceptions.
Wow. Okay. I'd love to see that. He did in the last time we played them last year. He had one down in the end zone. Elam intercepted it. And then Teron Johnson, Teron Johnson intercepted him in the last 2 minutes of the game. When Matt Milano was playing the spy and rushed in and he rushed a pass and Teron Johnson got the diving interception. So it's not unheard of. And, despite what the national media would like you to believe, Mahomes is not having this killer MVP season compared to Josh Allen. It's actually quite close in turnover, a lot closer in turnovers than they would lead you to believe. And Allen is leading in every other stat, basically. So right Mahomes is not having an incredible season. Mahomes. Yeah, it's just the Bills aren't outplaying the Chiefs, and that's the difference right now. If the Bills right now had one or two losses, Allen would be in the MVP conversation. Unfortunately, the MVP is not actually the player who's most valuable to their team, because that would be Allen hands down. The Bills lose more if they lose Allen than any other team in the league. That's my opinion, but he makes up a higher percentage of our offense, of our scoring, of everything. Nothing works without Allen in our offense. Unfortunately, that's not what MVP really is. It's a very narrative-based award, and it goes to a team with a good record. And it's not actually the most valuable player. And it almost always goes to a quarterback, which also works against it. Because, like, you look at the 49ers with and without Christian McCaffrey, you can make a case for him being the most valuable player. But again, don't get me started. No reason to waste time on that. Let's move on.
See, if he could come here, which I don't think he will,
it would have been incredible.
We actually had a shot on him, but the 49ers picked him up.
Yeah.
If we got CMC, I think that we could get the dink and dunks that Mahomes gets.
Yeah.
Because he can be a rusher, but he can also be a threat in the pass game.
What could have been. If definitely.
We got CMC, I think we would be like the Eagles 10-2.
It's very possible.
I think we would be leading the division and the entire AFC.
He's a game changer for sure, but his injury history did make me worried. So it would have been rough to give up a lot for him given his injury history, but
I would have given
it is what it is, what could have been. We'll see what James Cook turns into. Like I said, he's been flashing a lot lately, so maybe he can turn into a CMC who stays healthier. Knock on wood. Now, again, if you guys have anything you want to share with us, whether that's something that you think there is to watch for, a key to the game type of thing, an Allen stat line, a hot take, or our final segment of score prediction, please share it down below. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to interact with you the last few weeks, so we miss talking to especially the regular people that come in every week. So hopefully we'll see you guys next week. But yeah, share any thoughts or comments down below. Score prediction. You want to go first or second?
I want to go second.
Okay. So my score prediction is I think we hit 30 again. That'll be the third game in a row under Joe Brady after weeks of not being able to smell 30 with Ken Dorsey. I think the final score will be 30-20 Bills. I think the Bills are playing really good football right now, and things just haven't gone their way. I really think I think you're going to see something special out of the Bills' performance on Sunday. I think they realize this is their season and the run needs to start right now.
My score prediction is 35-27 Bills win.
Okay. All right. So we both got a Bills win, a Bills victory. Let's hope, because 7-6, the playoffs are very much alive. 6-7, we're not mathematically eliminated, but that one's going to be rough.
Because you can be 9 you can be 10-7 and still make the playoffs. I've seen teams make it 9-8.
Yeah, I think
it's unlikely,
given the losses those are usually. I don't think that's going to apply to us this year. We'll just say that. Given the losses we have inside the conference this year and in the division this year, I think we're going to have to get to 11 wins, which means winning out. So here it is, Buffalo Bills. Your season is sitting right in front of you. These next, what are we? We're 6-6. So these next 5 games, that's your season. How bad do you want to go to the postseason? How bad do you want to hoist the Lombardi? Because this is your chance to show it. Anything else you would like to add?
Actually, yes. I want to make a dad joke.
Okay.
Morely, a your coach joke, not a your mama joke, but a your coach
Okay.
joke. It's probably not going to be that good, but the Chiefs coach is so stupid. Try and guess why?
Why?
He picked Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. Well, Patrick Mahomes does have 2 Super Bowls and has been in 4 AFC Championship games. So
yeah, but the Bills have been the 4 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah,
we haven't won any of them, but we've won the 4 straight.
That is true. That is true. Look, I get it. Like, it's easy as a Bills fan to hate on Mahomes because you hear the national media so much. I'm not. Look, Mahomes is a great quarterback. He's really impressive. He makes some incredible plays. Now, I do think sometimes he makes some plays look a lot harder than they really are, and that's his own error. And then it looks like this incredible highlight play when it could have just been a simple pass. But at the end of the day, I would still take Allen over Mahomes any day. I don't care if Mahomes ends up with 12 Super Bowl rings. I don't think he would have done that if he had come to Buffalo. And I do not believe that Allen in any way, shape, or form is holding this team back from winning a Super Bowl. So I would still take Allen over Mahomes. I have
one more thing.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I saw on YouTube Shorts that Tom Brady bet one of his Super Bowl rings.
Whoa, on what?
I forgot what it was on. I think it was on it was on like the Jaguars or something.
Wow.
Or like CJ Stroud.
Well, I don't know if it's true or not, but he does have like 7. So
I think he has 8.
I thought it was 7. I thought it was 6 with the Patriots and 1 with Tampa. But I don't know. We could look it up later. All right. Anything else you want to add?
No.
Okay. So before we go anywhere, we hope again to see you guys next week for a live show regularly scheduled on Thursday. And if by some chance we don't happen to see you before the holidays, we hope everybody has a very nice and safe holiday. Yeah. And until next time, right?
Yep.
Go Bills.
Merry Christmas. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Bye-bye.
See, Peter, he's too fast.
You gotta tackle me. It's B. You gotta press B.
I'm pressing B. He's too fast.
Going over here? Going over here now? Never get tired.